Hello and welcome to episode 36 of Rigor Mortis Paranormal. Tonight's episode includes La Llorona, a ghost on the highway, a knitting ghost haunts her old house, Curtis, a friendly maintenance ghost, and more tales and tribulations from the RMP team. I am David, this is Robert, Jasmine, Kory, and Ian.
Hello.
Hey guys.
What's up? Hey, what's happening? Everybody sounds so excited.
It was a long weekend, man. It was all, every day had beer involved in it, man. So I was like, yeah. Right. Including today, right? I think the first thing on the agenda was a recognition of our website.
Oh,
David
new website,
did an awesome update.
It's
refurbished, or however you say it.
Refurbished website. Yeah, we just kind of redid a little bit, and it's more for Google's pleasure, I guess. It's I guess should index better and stuff, and hopefully you guys find it easier to use and navigate and stuff too. So, that's I guess what we're shooting for, to make it a little easier.
We're still trying to get around with the bar hopping one. I know I'm still pushing that one. We actually did get a couple of responses, but I'm hoping to get a little bit more. That way we can kind of dig through them. But some of the people that have called in, there was one in, I believe, Austin was one, yes. What was the other one? Houston was another one. And I believe, no kidding, something, I think it was like Odessa or something like that. But yeah, we're still trying to get the ones here. So we're hoping to go visit the one over there in Austin, man. So that'd be awesome, man.
That was pretty cool. Yeah, that was pretty cool. And then one of them told us where we can go, and nowhere nice. But
What's your general audience numbers? I'm like, what are you talking about, man? Do you want to do it or not? That's fine. Yeah. And then we'll get back with you, and and I knew what that meant. I get, man.
And so the idea is also just for those of y'all that probably didn't catch it. One of the previous episodes.
Right, yeah. We're just looking for taverns, lounges, bars that have some kind of paranormal experiences, hauntings, or things like that, like Bigfoots. Went in and ordered a Jaeger bomb or something.
Bigfoot, he's an original here.
Regular.
There you go.
They start playing that song. Here comes the regular from the replacement. It's Bigfoot, right? I hate when he comes. He smells like hell, right? So he's trying to get lucky, but he stinks. That's started my life, right?
I was asking people to do the belly button shots, or what do they call those?
Matted hair. They get more matted hair in their lips.
Gross.
Pointing more. Pointing at Port more. I'm going to do it from a straw this time. Oh, God, that's gross.
Gross.
But,
ticks and fleas coming out there.
Good protein. Good protein.
But also Paranormal Fest.
Paranormal Fest, yeah, that's right.
And it's kind of wah because it's going to be awesome where it's going to be at. I'm not, knocking that. It's just we had to trim the crew down for that day. It's not going to be the same because it's, the party at me. Yeah. We'll see what happens, right, Jazz? We get all fucked up and all of us be back there. Yeah. I dare you to make me move, bitch. I dare you. You see Jasmine the next day. How did I get in the Burke County Sheriff's holding cell right there? But that's actually happening. You know what? I don't have shit on me, and I should have been looking at.
Yeah, we're bad about that. Even last time when we tried to mention it, and we all forgot the dates.
I think it's September 14th or some shit.
Okay.
Maybe not.
I got it right here. It's actually September 14th. You're right, Jazz.
September 14th.
And yes, it is. And that's going to be from 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. And that's going to be at the Victoria Black Swan Inn, 1006 Hallbrook Road, San Antonio, Texas 78218. Man, that's going to be awesome, though, man.
It'll be fun. It's always a lot of fun there. I mean, just anything they got going on at Black Swan Inn is always fun.
If y'all enjoy anything paranormal, that's the place to be. I mean, they're real cool about letting you walk around you just got to respect their stuff. That's it. But, other than that, yeah, it's awesome.
People actually live there. It's their house.
Yeah.
So.
They used to be.
Well, it just depends. It just depends.
They probably had some uncomfortable encounters.
That's true.
I guess what Ian's getting at is one time we actually just walked up there and we just showed up and the guy came to the door.
Yeah, he came downstairs and I don't care. And but he was real cool about it. Like, y'all go ahead and knock yourself out. But
He just said, don't go upstairs, because we're asleep upstairs. But you're welcome to walk around downstairs, a house, in the yard,
said
the backyard.
Hell, you guys are killers or something.
I know, that's what we're like.
Oh, yeah, that's kind of
probably why
creepy
they
that we're
changed
kind of
that.
giving this out, right? Yeah, it's like some serial
Well,
killer.
they don't let them anymore.
Yeah, they don't do that anymore. Probably because enough people were doing it where they're like, you know what, this is unsafe. We got to change it.
Yeah, and people probably didn't respect it. I'm sure some people didn't.
Yeah.
we were good about it that night. I mean, we were good.
But that's what they're awesome folks, man. So,
Oh, for sure.
and that being said, we got some awesome stories tonight. Some very awesome stories. We have a Llorona story, man.
I know, that's pretty cool. La Llorona, that's awesome, man. Because I think the only thing we did with La Llorona was we just, I think one of our early episodes we just mentioned.
It was on the
these are
like
some
San
of our-
Antonio haunts or something.
Right,
but-
yeah. We just mentioned some local haunts.
Yeah, or like legends of like Texas,
yeah.
Southwest, and stuff like that. So that that she's a staple. Man, she's everywhere though, right?
Yeah, no
I think
kidding.
we were talking about that. They even said that she was all the way from. They said Cuba.
South America.
All up in
She's
there.
in Iceland?
Do you know what they said? Iran. Where is she? Yeah, where is she walking on that desert? She's tired, and thirsty, and everything. She's got a
Probably a real
canteen.
person just.
Yeah, that one has a canteen, right? The ghost has a canteen out there. But
I had a real crying lady, right?
know.
Can you help me, Pop?
Well, they
just
also
need water.
said they also said in Windcrest. In Windcrest, we live very near Windcrest. It's a little suburb, and it's got like every time it rains, it's not even a creek, man, but it just kind of gets like an indentation on their lawn, that little piece in the park. So that's what I'm saying is like, but it's a grass ditch. That's what it is like, And I was like, I find it hard for her just to walk like about 3 blocks, looking for that. You should have found your kids by now,
No kidding.
Yeah, and then the other 2 are pretty awesome. Dave has got a personal one, and we're gonna hear from him. Then that's pretty awesome because we actually have footage of that, right?
Yeah, there's gonna be when you look on the website, you'll see the video of the. And it's real small, the video. It's nothing major, but anyway, take a look at it, check it out.
Yeah,
and,
and actually, because I know what a lot of people are going to say. Well, what's happening there is a mechanism, and that's not.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to give it away after
Yeah.
this. We'll start talking about what I'm talking about. So
and there was more to the story that I hadn't mentioned to you guys either.
awesome,
but,
man.
so we'll
Something
see.
juicy.
Maybe some surprises for us.
Yeah.
Before we get into that, man, I got to tell y'all what happened to me the other day at work, man. And I'm hoping I know they don't listen to our stories, man. But if they do, they sometimes and if they do, it's just a snoop to
That's
see
the
what we're
one thing
saying.
about when you tell work stories, you always gotta hope that they don't listen. Like,
Well, no, it's just one of my bosses. Like, I was in the parking garage staircase, and I didn't take the stairs. I was getting off the elevator, and when I did, you either have to walk down or walk up, right? Because it's right in between the 3rd and the 2nd floor. So either you're walking down if you go to the 3rd, or if you go to the 2nd floor, you're walking up.
is there a door like between there? Or
Yeah,
no?
it's an entrance door. I'm sorry, I should have said that. And it leads inside the building. It's very hot in there, even in the morning, man, because there's no AC or nothing in there. And it's enclosed. So yeah, that's why I take the damn elevator. When you get off, the stairs are right next to where the elevators are, so you can't see until you walk towards the steps who's going up or who's going down. And when I turned around, I had noticed it was my boss, and I was just about to say something, and they kicked the top stair, like they didn't pick up their legs high enough.
They didn't go.
And so when they did, they fell forward, right? And they did, man. No bullshit, man. Okay, she landed on one knee, and then I just heard, oh, and then you hear like a loud fart, like it actually echoed. It was a louder, and then I just walked back down the stair and I hid. I was like, because that's embarrassing to me. But she, even like when she fell, she knew someone was behind her enough to say, con permiso. And
Oh man!
but I was hiding. I was like, no, I don't want to. And I guess they were like, because it got quiet and you never heard the door open or the beep of to let you in with your badge. And I was like, oh, please don't come back down to see who's here, man. And I was like pressing the button, but it was already going down. And I was like, fuck. So
get me out of here.
yeah, it was only funny they walked in, man. But it was funny, man, because I was one of those loud ass farts, man.
Oh man, that's horrible.
I can only imagine her roaring. But man, like she had enough with her to say con permiso. Anyway, guys, that's my tiny one that happened. Nothing long, and
You can email her later. Hold it against her.
no. Well,
Blackmail her.
Yeah. Anyway, Well, what do you say, fellas, man? Y'all want to get on with the first one?
Yeah, let's do this.
Which one are we doing first?
Which one you guys want to do? You want to start off with the knitting ghost?
Let's do the knitting ghost.
Knitting ghost haunts her old house.
This story comes to us from Renee. I grew up in a small South Texas town about an hour south of San Antonio. My mom and I spent years at my grandmother's home before she made enough money to get us out. I was an only child and my mother was a single parent. The home we moved into was bigger than we needed just for the two of us. My mother had opened up her own floral business and I spent a lot of time at home alone the summer between my 7th and 8th grade year. You have to understand the layout of this home to fully picture the events that occurred there. My bedroom had many doorways, one into the living room, one into the family room, one into the main bath, and one into the bedroom next to me, which was empty. My room was positioned in the middle of the house, the family room to the back, and a big L-shaped room to the front, which was the dining and living room area. When we moved in the home, it was completely empty except for 2 items. One big antique wooden dresser, and an old rocking chair. Now, after some time of us living in the home, we incorporated these 2 furniture pieces. More importantly was the rocking chair. There was weird things that would happen. The usual lights being turned on and the doors being open when you know they had been closed earlier. But the thing that stood out the most was, do you remember the older TVs, the ones with the tube in the back? When you turned them on, you could hear the electronics working inside. Almost like a hissing sound. Well, earlier in the morning, just about every day I could hear the sounds coming from the living room and the front of my bedroom. The thing is that we didn't have a TV in the room. There wasn't even a cable connection in there. And we lived too far to pick up any kind of over-the-air signal. I always came up with a logical explanation for it. Neighbors, maybe? If it were quiet enough, you could even hear their voices. Between the kitchen and the dining room, there was a swinging door that would open in either direction. Only problem was that the kitchen floor was a bit warped, so the door would only open about a foot or so towards the kitchen, but would fully open towards the dining room. On a regular day or night, I would grab what I needed from the kitchen, make my way through the family room, and head into my bedroom. But this one particular night, I made a bowl of cereal and I headed through the dining room. As I made my way through the L-shaped room, turning the corner into the living room, there was an old lady with a crochet needle in her hands and a partial sock hanging from them, sitting in the rocking chair that came with the house. We made eye contact. She had this look on her face like she was frightened to see me. Knowing that it was just my mom and I that lived here wasn't the odd part. We're Hispanic, my extended family was also, and the lady I was staring at was white. And what made it clear to me that what I was looking at was the carpet had a floral print design with vines. And the harder I looked at her, the more I could see that she was transparent. I could start to see the carpet right through her. Finally, at this point, the only thing that went through my mind was ghost. At this moment, I knew I only had 2 options. Either turn around and run into the door that will only open about a foot into the kitchen and slam my face into it because I'll be running 100 miles per hour, or run right by her into my room. So I ran right by her and closed my door. Up until this moment, I didn't believe in ghosts. I was more concerned about being abducted by aliens or something. I was so scared I didn't say anything for months. The TV noise continued and the lights being switched on and off also did, but I didn't see anything again. We were fixing on moving out soon. Finally, I had told my mom what I had seen. She laughed and said, Come with me. I didn't know where we were going, but it turned out that she was delivering the written notice to the landlord that we were leaving. By this time, they had become somewhat friends and spent a few moments catching up and talking. I sat in her living room and noticed some decor hanging on the walls, designs made of crochet. At the end of the room was an 8x10 frame photo of a woman I had seen a few months back. It was her mother's home. She had passed away and we were the first ones to rent it since. I've never forgot the look on her face when she made eye contact with me. I'm 34 now, and this happened to me when I was about 12 or 13 years old. I've told only a few friends about it, but never typed it all out. It actually took me this long to do so. I hope y'all like my story, and I have a few more crazy things that happened to me I'd like to share. Thanks for reading.
Well, that was pretty good.
Yeah, that was awesome. I like that, man.
What did this house remind you of, Ian? I mean, not his house, his room. Didn't he say he had like 5 doors?
You know what?
Yeah.
I was gonna say something already too, and I already
It's enlightened me because I'm drawn up.
the Winchester, the Winchester house.
His room was
Reminds me of the Winchester house.
yeah, but that's what I'm But it led to somewhere like it's like a maze. Like everybody goes to the middle. That his is in the middle.
Pretty stupid, right?
Yeah, it's the war room. He's in the what do you call those? The command center.
Yeah.
He's in the middle. But that's a trip, right? I guess that would be kind of cool. I mean, if there's a fire, you got 5 different ways to get out. Man.
Yeah, that's true.
But Kory, can we get you to like draw like a map of the layout of the house? Because I'm like, I don't know why, but when she was like describing the shape and like locations and of everything, it just.
Oh, well, Jasmine was.
When Jasmine
Jasmine
was reading it off, it just went right out, like into one ear and right out the other. Man, I was lost.
Even with the description? I mean,
Ian just
I was
forgot about the
super
rest of
lost.
the story, and he was like, "What the fuck does this house look like?
Yeah.
That's kind of.
Yeah, he was just stuck on the doors, like, wait a
But
minute.
am I wrong
Who
too?
designed this house?"
Yeah, Jazz. If you could have read more
Sarah
interestingly.
Winchester. Yeah.
I know. You know what? I feel like I sound like David Blaine when I read.
Okay, it's not the guy's fault. He did a good job, but Jazz, come on, get it together.
I was trying to get the spooky.
Nah, you did a good job with
Ever
that.
wonder?
Yeah.
No. Chills. Hey, but that's the thing because it was kind of when I was first reading it, the very first time I read it, I was the same way. I was like, man, it sounds kind of tripped. An L-shaped room that is like, I guess he said is, yeah. I was like, I gotta check it out for myself. But then here's the thing too. Didn't he say that he had a swinging door? Like there are saloon doors in there somewhere, but it only went one side. It opened all the way, but the other side it didn't like a foot.
Yeah, only like a foot
damn, dude.
that went into the kitchen. I'm telling you, Sarah Winchester, man, designed that house. Man.
Well, it kind of reminds me a little bit of Athea Norma. She moved into a new house recently.
Uh-huh.
One of those doors looks like it goes into a dungeon. The
wood one?
The wooden
Yeah.
door.
Oh, yeah.
It looks like it goes into some like torture dungeon or
Yeah,
something
that's
like
cool,
that.
man.
Like a
It's just a little
chamber.
closet.
It's a
Like a
swinging
tiny
door.
closet.
That's a swinging door, or it just comes out one side. Yeah.
But you know what a torture dungeon looks like?
yeah.
Well, maybe I've been in one.
Yeah,
I've been maybe I've been emotionally scarred, and you're triggering me, Jazz.
Maybe
I'm
I like
triggered.
torture dungeons, and maybe I like the things with whips and
He's like,
chains.
forget I ever said anything.
But we didn't even mention the ghost, did we?
Oh my
Yeah,
god!
that's right.
Sorry, I'm
We're
trying
so stuck
to.
on
But
the
no,
doors.
because here's the thing too. Because this makes me feel like a dinosaur again. Because they're talking about the tube TVs. Now, you know what I'm talking about, Kory, but I don't know. You probably don't.
Yeah.
Because like I
I
remember
do.
the last time when they were talking about, remember you could put things on top of your TV. I had my keys, my wallet, and they're like, how the hell do you put it on the TV? It was my grandson. I'm like, what are you talking about? And he's like, you can't put them on a flat screen. I'm like, oh my god, yeah. These were like. Well, this one, I remember that noise that he's talking about. Like when it
tubes.
starts, the tubes are warming up, and him hearing that, but he said there was not any TV in that room. That's weird, man. And
Yeah,
then,
that's crazy.
but the doozy really was.
Seeing that ghost in.
What did he say? He said that he saw the ghost, and the ghost was over there.
knitting real nice.
And then she looked up, and she kind of did the same thing, like. ¿Qué? You know, like, who's that? No, didn't he say it was not a Hispanic woman
Yeah,
they're
she
doing?
was-
She
oh,
was maybe that's
why she was
that's
freaking
why.
out.
Yeah, she freaked out because she looked at him like, oh dear.
I'll make some sandwiches.
That's great.
But that's it, because what happened is because like he looked at her, but as scared as she was, she looked back at him like she was scared too.
Yeah,
and then he said, well, everybody in the family was Hispanic in his family, so that and it wasn't because it was a white lady. I didn't know because she was Casper the Ghost because he's white because he's dead, or but that's what he was coming through saying, and we gotta let's have feelings, we got Kory in the house too, man.
You're not white, kidding me?
Anyway. But the thing is, when he was saying that he had to run, like he was contemplating, what do I do?
I know.
do I go hide in, what's it, the kitchen for what, man?
Yeah, well,
I would have been alright in the kitchen, man.
Well, he was afraid because he said that's a door that only opened up about a foot, so he would kind of just ran into the door. He's like, I don't think I would have made it through the door.
That's true too, yeah.
So, I mean, he would have to stand there and I guess try and pull the door open or something.
I would have been the Kool-Aid man. Fuck no.
Man, I would not. I know, either that or run past her. And it's crazy because he ran past her. I was like, dude, I would not have ran past her. I would have jumped out the window, glass and all, dude.
She got scared too. My word.
My window.
She got mad at poking one of these damn knitting needles. That's a trip.
Honestly, though, man, as scared as she was looking at him, man, I still don't think like if I was in his shoes, I would not be able to sleep for days after that.
How does that work too? I mean, like if she had a conscience and she saw him,
yeah.
I mean, how does that
Definitely
work?
not residual.
Well, yeah, okay, yeah, and on top of that, yeah, that's true because she had a conscious look at him.
Right.
What I want to know is so much is like mind blowing. I got too many things. My head's about to pop in, so screwed, man. Because she's looking at him,
right.
And she's just as frightened as him. That almost sounds like not a time slip. Like she's
we were just talking about that, Ian and I, on the way over here when we were talking about alternate realities or crossing over.
There you go. That's exactly what second. That's what I was trying to say. Okay. Yeah. And then actually that's what they said, right, Jess? He was more afraid of being abducted.
What if that was an alien?
That's true. Yeah, I'm needing a titanium suit or whatever. That's what I was trying to get to, and I couldn't spit it out. And that's what I was looking for, the 2-dimensional and stuff like that. Because they're just looking at you like, who the hell is that?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So,
are you doing my lawn?
I know. The yard guy is in my house. He's a maintenance man.
I don't want to buy oranges. I got a whole tree back there. Like, I picked them from there, man. I'm selling them back to you. Anyway, man, that was awesome, Renee. Thanks for that story,
that was
man.
A great story. Hey, check this out.
Hello. This is Robert Limon from Rigor Mortis Paranormal Podcast. Do you ever dream of being rich and famous?
How about being skinny?
Or beautiful?
Well, if you dream of these things, submit your story to rigormortisparanormal.com. We can get you there.
You'll have 8 whole listeners at least.
That number is 210-901-8666. And remember, folks, that's a 3-minute call. So if your call goes over 3 minutes, please call back and give us a second call to finish your story. We will edit that bad boy and make it sound like a famous person.
And if you sound like Screech and don't want to leave a call, you can always email us at rigormortisparanormal@gmail.com. Or you can visit our website online at www.rigormortisparanormal.com and click on the Submit a Story button.
Fame and fortune will be coming your way soon.
Cha-ching!
Rigor Mortis Paranormal is not responsible for your financial standings, bankruptcies, foreclosures, plummet in popularity, divorce, impotency, pregnancies, sudden rashes, and possible death. You are guaranteed to be heard by no more than 8 people.
Oh, goodness, man. A great place to put a commercial break. Jasmine had to go use the facilities. Drank a little bit too much. And it wasn't pee.
Oh my god.
No, man, seriously. No, it was awesome, though, man. It really was, man. I mean, I got drunk. I'm not going to lie. I'm positive Jasmine got drunk. And, father-daughter team, man. We got,
tag teaming them beers there.
Yeah, it's like, tag me. With my stupid ass, everybody was going inside, so I tried to lay on this table, and I bent the legs on it, man.
Why would you lay on the table?
I was sleepy. I didn't want to sleep on the ground.
Oh my god.
That's messed up. They're like, we're trying to play beer pong here.
Yeah, I'm in the way. There's a hill in the way. Yeah. Yeah, see if y'all can make it over this, man.
Trick shot.
Had to make it like a golf course.
Like a quarterback throwing a football, trying to touch the top of the stadium. We gotta make it over.
Yeah.
You got a running head start to play beer pong.
Oh, God.
But it was awesome, though, man. It really was. It was a great party. But man, I got drunk, though, man. And you know what, though? I still feel it. That's why I'm drinking now.
Oh, you know what? I was so drunk that I recognized I was drunk, and I was like, I'm gonna fucking lay down before I do anything else to embarrass myself.
Let him look like my dad.
I was fucked up. Oh god.
And that's the safest thing to do. before I have a lampshade on my, head, I'm walking nude, just like, singing Shirley Temple or something. I fell asleep. It's just where I fell asleep.
I was talking to Jasmine too, and she was like, "Oh yeah," she goes, "As soon as I recognized I was getting drunk, I went and laid down, and I fell asleep." And I was like, "I saw you asleep, but that was about 2 hours after you were drunk." I was like, little did you know.
I was drunk, and I started realizing I was drunk, so I started drinking water because I was like, I still want to drink, so let me get some water.
That was still about 2 hours after you were drunk.
But I
Started
don't know.
eating Chinese candy so I can get.
I was trying to sober up so I could get drunk again.
How do you do that? That's why in the bars, that's why they have the peanuts and the popcorn, so you can get thirsty. And there's just, do I have any Chinese candy? But no, man, once you're at that point where your stomach just can't take no more, and you drink some more again, because I don't know why, but there's people like me that do try, like, I gotta prove a point, and that's the worst thing, man. I mean, there you go, you're lying, in the driveway or somewhere, and then people, and as big as I am, man, they're just like, you know what, fuck it, just leave him there. He'll wake up eventually, man. Yeah, because I mean, really, man, it's hard, but.
Pretty soon we're gonna stop getting invited places.
It was like, okay, Menace invited my wife, and then Dave, Lonzo, good people, and Rob's, no. Hey, how come I couldn't come, man?
I didn't get my invitation. What happened? Did he get lost in the mail?
Yeah, I think something happened. And I show up anyway. And I'm like, yeah, he doesn't take a hint very well, does he? I'm like, yeah, you got beer?
That's crazy.
We got a shout out. I know y'all saw that about the.
Oh, the guy that woke up. Oh, yeah, no, he didn't wake up.
He was talking about the confetti chair, man. That's what I call the story. The confetti chair, the one I obliviated, the 100-year-old. And he actually called. If y'all, I can't remember which episode. I can't remember.
It was episode 11. He said episode 11.
Oh, okay.
I didn't remember. I was trying to remember what episode that was too. So I'm glad he wrote that in because I was like, oh, dude, that's the one I want to go check it out.
But he was saying like, he was laughing his ass off so loud that, and it was at 4. I don't know what he was doing in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, but that's awesome. And that his wife told him to come and shut the hell up. He was like, man, fuck the neighbors, man. I was like, all right, this dude's awesome. I like him. But
it was crazy because
only us run into shit like. I mean, we always have a story. We're weird.
I started thinking about it. I was like, we're actually kind of weird to have that many like crazy things, but or are we? I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's kind of normal. I don't know.
It might be.
We just tell the stories other people suppress.
Has anyone else ever put like a metal bolt behind somebody's brake? And then you climb in the car with them?
I know. And then get in the car with them.
Let's see if it works. Oh man, I can't remember. Y'all got to hear that episode too, but.
I remember a long time ago, man, another thing, and this is probably something that, I don't know, just a kid, when I was a little kid, man, I was going to school with Melissa. We were going to pick up somebody, I don't know, no, I was going to school with Steve to pick up Melissa, our brother Steve. It was about about a mile walk to go from our house.
Well, that's walking distance for us, man.
To us that was normal. From the red apartments to the high school. Man, I remember it was really hot, and I was barefooted. We're just little kids. I don't know what grade I was in.
That shit you don't get used to.
Well, you know what?
No, for real, man. In the summer here, and you're stepping on concrete. I don't care who you are. Yeah, you don't get. Yeah, you can have a leather foot, sugar foot, or whatever it is, man.
Tenderfoot.
Yeah. If you got tenderfoot, you're fucked, man. Yeah, you're gonna be stuck there.
Yeah, right. Yeah. No, but it's weird though. I had. I don't know why I did this because I think I had shoes. I could have just put shoes on, but those 2-liter bottles of soda, the plastic ones, I cut holes in them and I was put them on like shoes.
Oh, no.
and I was walking.
They were melting to your feet, Texas sun.
No, but I started walking with him and he didn't notice because Steve was all in his own little mind. So I was just all cool behind him, walking with these things, and I'm like dragging my feet, so I'm just playing around and stuff. But again, we're going to go pick up Melissa, which is our sister from high school, and I have these things on my feet, man. Going to the high school like that. And we got close, and we actually got there, and that's when he's like, "Oh shoot!" He's like, "Dave, get those off your feet, man." And I'm like, "Why?" It's like it's hot, I'm all like, I didn't want to take them off, and then. we picked up Melissa. Melissa came out and she's like, man, she starts cursing me out and stuff like, get those damn things off your feet. You know, she starts yelling at me and stuff. And I was like,
but I'm gonna blister. I don't give a fuck. Take them off. My friends are here.
That was horrible, man. But I think I took them off, but I carried them with me because I put them back on because I had to put them on.
That shit was hot, man.
I was, man. But hey, but that's what I was saying, man. Those are like we did crazy stuff when we were kids, man. And whoa, even now, I mean, like
I used to put them on my shoes and pretend that they were skates because I didn't have skates.
Go sliding.
But when I was, man, this is way back. This is when I was in elementary. Same place.
The red apartment. So
I beg your pardon. It was a school right before. It was like a year right before we got into those red apartments. Man, I was somewhere like in the vicinity of 6 years old. No bullshit. I'm talking about like 1970. Actually, bullshit. It's probably around 71, 72. It's still way back, man. They still had fucking what do you call those guys? Those truant officers. I know they have them now, but they're more sophisticated where they actually knock on your door to say, hey, well, you know, whatever. You skip these out. Back then, man, those guys like the men in black, man. They'd pull over and throw you in the car and take you to school. Where are you supposed to be to school? You know, like because they did that. No bullshit, man. They did that to this guy, man, and we were like tripping out because he had mud all over his feet, man. He was barefooted, and he was like, no, it was cold too. He had no jacket, and he may have even had a legitimate excuse. So you're like, man, yeah, I'm sorry, you know, I had to go get, you know, shots or whatever the deal is, man. Yeah, I got a dental appointment. Yeah, bullshit. You fucking look at the way you look. You ain't got no fucking dentist. Yeah, like, yeah, but I got Medicaid. Yeah, it's like bullshit, you know. But whatever, man. But they no bullshit, man. They threw him, and he had muddy ass feet, man, and he had these high ass water pants, and man, he was man, even the teacher was saying, y'all don't be mean, man, because you know.
Yeah.
How do they know if they even go to the school?
You just took it to any school.
Yeah, like,
this is your school now.
Yeah. I'm getting paid for this day, goddammit. Get your ass in there. Yeah, he's like, but don't come to the school, man. Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's crazy though, man. Yeah, that's kind of messed up because
I
you know.
remember seeing that.
Man, try that nowadays.
Yeah. Oh fuck, no, man, shit, no, that ain't gonna happen. But even well, another thing is that shit still flew, man. Yeah, beat his ass, man. Fuck it, he needs it. And another time, I can't stand beets, man. Who the fuck eats beets, man? That's what I'm saying. But like this time, they had it actually on.
Strong opinions.
Yeah, sorry, man. I'm on a vent, man, because when I was a
He
kid,
was about to fucking pull out some beats.
you mean like these? Okay, maybe, yeah, but I'm sure but these were like weird, Ian. They were like, okay, they have this tray, and they have beets, but I think I'm not exaggerating, but to me it's not even real talking about it. I'm not bullshitting, they were in purple sauce. And they were beets, and the guy and the lady is coming by and it's like, everybody needs to eat their beets before they get to eat their cake. You're not gonna eat your cake. And I was like, you know, why, man? The government's I'm on free lunch. I pay for my lunch. I'm gonna eat that cake. No, we had to go, and she stabbed the fork in the beets, and then she just get in your mouth, man. I mean, just here, open your mouth. I mean, like that too. And you did, because you're like, hey, you know, if I don't, my dad's gonna beat my ass. Why don't you eat that beet? There ain't shit to eat at home. But man, that shit was disgusting, man. As soon as she put it in, she went to the next person using the same goddamn fork. Yeah, using the same. And here's another thing that here I'm venting now. But remember when they would give you the shot, and then they would just pull it out and then dip it in. They would dip it in alcohol and clean the needle.
I don't remember that, but man,
they did that shit.
Doubt it.
Mom always got me to go get my shots and take them. But when they were doing that at school one time with the boosters, and I had my booster shot, I was like, fuck y'all, I got that shit.
They're trying to prevent one thing, but fucking spreading other
But
shit.
they didn't have the. But to be honest with you, I mean, hepatitis was still around, you know, and I'm sure other ones, you know, were not as rampant as they were.
Were you getting the hepatitis shot?
Yeah, no, they didn't have that. They didn't have that. They still didn't have that. But they had like for polio. I mean, that's still back for smallpox. I mean, like we lived in like Lucas McCain's world from the Rifleman, you know, but you know, hoof and mouth. That's what I got that one time. I'm sorry I went off. I know you had something to say. I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, you're talking about the barefoot. The guy that was barefoot, man. I knew this guy in college, and you know, no knock on him. He's a cool dude. I mean, but
say his name.
He was no. I mean, it's like it's just like interesting though. It's like he was barefoot every day that I knew him.
That was his decision, though.
That was his decision. Yeah, he told me
because he
in
could
high
afford
school,
like the Adidas and the
Yeah, he could afford. He had a good family. He had money and stuff like that. He But just one time in high school, I don't know what it was. He either forgot to put shoes on before he left, or he was like in such a rush he didn't realize he didn't put them on. But he got outside and he was like, "Oh my god, I'm not wearing shoes." He's like, "You know what? I like this. I like this better than wearing shoes."
So he does that from now on? I
He did that from now on.
He does that?
Yeah, as much as possible. There are times when he's like, he absolutely, like they say he. I mean, obviously going
In
to
class,
restaurants,
he
he
would
would go to class and not wear
Wow.
shoes.
Okay,
I mean,
Job interview. Got my suit, my tie.
no shoes.
No shoes.
But and the thing is, too, I went to school in the Northeast, Massachusetts. Do you know how cold it gets there?
Yeah, that's different.
Man, yeah.
And
Compared
he
to
still
Texas
didn't-
heat, going
yeah.
into that cold environment. Yeah, I can
And
imagine.
he still didn't wear shoes.
Jeez.
The middle of winter, there's a blizzard. The snow is piled up so tall I would drown in it, and he was not wearing shoes.
Damn, did he get like his foot black and stuff?
His foot was,
Oh, man,
it was
yeah.
a little dark, but I mean, he was at the times. I mean, but I know it's a dumb statement, obviously.
Watching with, oh, I remember frostbite.
I think Rob's afraid of frostbite. Yeah, so
No, that's
Oh yeah,
I
It took a while to
bathe
register.
that much, but
No, my
put it
brain
in the
just-
snow.
Hey, but did he
No,
did he go to high school like that too, barefooted, or
I think he tried
just
to.
at one time he didn't?
No, I
go
think
with
he went a few times. I think the teacher started trying to make him after a while to put shoes on.
At least he opted. You know, that was his choice.
He had a choice.
Yeah, unlike me, where man, recently we went on vacation. We went to Mall of America up there in Minnesota, I think, or something like that.
That's a nice one. That's a big one. ain't it? That's
Yeah,
nice,
and man, I bought some shoes there. I tried them on real quick. Of course, you just put one on because the other one has that little clip on there, so you don't steal it and stuff. And I put these shoes on
in the box.
Yeah. No, but I put these shoes on this. What was it called? What were the ones you were talking about the other day, Rob? That they're
Grillmaster
fine, but-
5000.
Oh, I got my Grillmaster 5000. Yeah.
No, but no. I tried the shoe on. I just put one on. I was like, all right, these are cool, man. Dug them, whatever. I paid for them. I bought them, and split. We came home. We were home here in San Antonio, and it was one of the smaller places too. Though it's not like a chain or nothing. And I was gonna put my shoes on, and they were both left feet. I was like, what in the
I
world?
would have worn them like that.
So I couldn't return them or nothing. So I'm like, I got these two left shoes. I'm like, I was like, who would do that? I think somebody's just messing around or something. And I don't know. That was
But
kind of.
I don't know how we all missed that too.
Anyway, golly, man, we got way
Yeah,
off.
sorry. Yeah, totally sidetracked.
Is it still a paranormal
I
podcast?
know.
They're talking about feet. They got fetish problems.
Y'all want to do the
That's
next
probably
one?
it's about that time.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I was gonna say that. La Llorona, a ghost on the highway.
Well, that's a good one.
That's actually a really good story.
And I don't know anybody who's not familiar with the La Llorona, if I'm saying that correctly. It's so worldwide. I mean, it's weird because we were looking it up, and I mean, it's from everywhere, man. They got them in Puerto Rico, Cuba. I think we said even Iran.
Yeah, Iran.
And it's just like
Crazy.
everywhere. Mexico, obviously, they have them. Anyway, La Llorona story. This next story is written to us by Larry, and he's from San Antonio, Texas. Larry writes, "Hello, RMP crew. My father-in-law told me this story years back when he was still alive. We were doing some night fishing at a lake. He started reminiscing about the good old days. How the soul music from the 60s was the best compared to the crap they played on the radio. How he would get into trouble at bars in San Antonio and get drunk and get into bar fights when he was a young man. He told me one day he was at one of his favorite stomping grounds, a bar called the Blue Note, to see Doug Song and Augie Myers play.
Hey baby, ¿qué pasó?
He said the beer used to be 50 cents back then. He told me he was minding his business when a drunk man stepped on his Stacy Adams. My father-in-law yelled at the man. Then they both started arguing and pushing each other. So they kicked my father-in-law out of the bar for starting it. He wound up going to a bar on the south side of San Antonio, way in the boondocks. He said he stayed there drinking with some friends of his till the bar closed. He then jumped into his 59 Chevy Impala and drove home. About 2 miles down the road, he realized he was running out of gas. His car gave out about 6 miles outside of San Antonio. It was pitch black outside, He then remembered one of his buddies he was drinking with lived about 4 miles from the bar, by some railroad tracks. So my father-in-law headed down the road. He said about 1.5 miles down the road he saw the railroad tracks. He figured if he walked on the tracks he would get there faster. He said he was around 1/4 mile down the tracks when he saw somebody walking towards him, about 50 yards away. This made him nervous. It was late and very dark. Who the hell was walking around this late out here? So he reached for his knife in his pocket and held it in his hands just in case. He got closer and he realized there was a woman wearing a white long dress with a veil over her face. He couldn't see her face, but he said she was crying. She didn't seem to be walking but almost floating. He could only hear the rocks on the tracks crunch under his footsteps, but not hers. He told me she creeped him the hell out. When he passed her, my father-in-law told me he put his head down and said, "Buenos dias, señorita," but didn't want to look her way because he said he was too scared to look at her. She didn't pay attention to him anyways. She just kept on crying when she passed. He walked about 10 steps past, and he looked back to see if she was still walking and not following him. He started walking faster and kept looking behind him to make sure she wasn't following him. Her silhouette was almost gone. He stopped and stared back towards her till she was gone. Relieved, he started walking faster. As he was approaching a street that crossed the railroad tracks, he noticed someone else walking on the tracks. This really made him nervous. Too much traffic for this time of night. He put his head down and just kept walking fast. But something he heard made him stop cold on the tracks. He heard a woman crying. He looked up and told me he almost crapped his pants. The same woman that had passed moments before was floating down the tracks again. Not someone that looked like her, but the same woman. She continued to cry. This time she was stopped around 10 feet in front of him, crying hysterically and louder. My father-in-law told me he ran past her as fast as he could. He said he stayed on the road and ran all the way to his friend's house. He said as he was running, the woman's cries were getting more distant until he couldn't hear them anymore. My father-in-law finally managed to make it to his buddy's house. He didn't tell him what he saw because he thought his friends would just have thought he was crazy. And he just wanted to forget about the whole thing. He never saw the weeping woman again. But then again, he never walked on those or any other tracks again. I asked him what he thought it was. He told me it was a fucking ghost. I think it was La Llorona. So that was my father-in-law's story of La Llorona. I hope you can use it. I love your show. You guys are great. Wow.
That was a way cool story. I like, I like hearing those, La Llorona or some of these other, all these other things. But as long as they're real, and I mean, this guy sounded genuine, man. So,
legit.
yeah.
Can we visit these tracks?
Yeah,
I know.
you know which tracks they are?
Which ones?
They're the tracks.
The
The ghost tracks.
Ghost tracks.
That's the
San
only one.
Antonio?
I'm sure they
Down
have.
now?
No, it's still there.
Yeah, well, you just can't get to those. But that track goes forever. I thought that's the one they were talking about. I may be assuming it may be because they have all kinds of tracks going out there. But the main one that runs throughout there, San Antonio, the south side. You know what? It may be southwest. I don't know.
I know.
So no, it may not be.
I think
the,
you
the
just
tracks
want it to be
I think
those
so
tracks
too.
right now. And you know what? I just...
I was just about to say, you know what?
No.
I'm thinking they're those ones, but they were on the south side. But I'm sorry, Dave.
No, I was gonna say, no, I just realized too, though, I titled the story La Llorona, A Ghost on the Highway, and they were on the ghost was on the train track. Whoops.
I know what you're thinking about, though, man.
Yeah, I was thinking about a song. I just really wanted to throw that title
The
in
Gun
there.
Club, man.
Yeah.
There's a ghost on the highway.
Yeah.
Cool song. Anyway,
It's a cool song.
Yeah,
It's a-
I did the same way. I wanted the ghost kids and La Llorona.
to beat up. Yeah.
She finally found some kids.
It would be like a gang fight, man.
These are our tracks. You're supposed to be by the river, pendeja.
Oh, that'd be a good story. We could do that. We should should do that and make our own little story with the video camera. La Llorona meets the kids of the tracks.
The wrong part of the neighborhood.
Yeah. You're on the wrong side of the track, ese. Telling her.
Oh man, that'd be badass, man. But
I think you're right, Jazz. I forgot they did redo the tracks. They took those ones down and they made a new train track a little ways down. They said.
And for y'all don't know what we're talking about. We're talking about the haunted railroad tracks here in San Antonio. Been a icon, a staple for a long time of haunted places here in San Antonio. That's what made one of the big, one of the big haunts here in San Antonio.
Yeah, it's been a staple of San Antonio's ghost stories.
Yeah, it's weird. I think that's the first time we actually had a La Llorona story. I'm gonna say this because we haven't had one, and we're calling it that. Damn it.
Yeah, I think it is because I think one of our older episodes, I think we were discussing that earlier. We just had, we just discussed local haunts and that was it, but not an actual story. So that's pretty cool, man. That was awesome.
And for y'all who don't know the history of La Llorona, there's different versions of that too.
Oh yeah,
like she drowned her kids in a river because she wanted to marry some rich guy that she fell in love with, and that he
hated the kids or something.
Yeah, he didn't want the kids. He just wanted her. So that she drowned her kids because she wanted to be with them. And then when he found out what happened, he really said, "Oh hell no!" You know? So she was wandering now. The rest. Like they didn't let her into heaven until she found her children. Now she's always looking for her. That's one version. I'm sure y'all have a lot. I'm just trying to kind of make a footnote fast here, So
that's the one we're familiar with.
And now, a word from our sponsors.
Hey y'all, this is Papa Bear here. And you ain't gonna believe the shitty day I had. This crazy bitch broke into our house while we were out. She broke my baby's chair and ate all his food. Do you know I found her sleeping in my baby's bed too? Well, fuck that. I ripped her ass apart like Leonardo DiCaprio in the old Western frontier. Now I gotta go out and get him some more food. Well, you know where I like to go when I need food and stuff. Check out Boswell's Pharmacy. They got everything you need. They got baby food. They got perfume for your lady. Why, they even got razors. I'm a bear, I don't think I need a razor, but check them out. They got all the shit you need.
Boswell's Pharmacy.
Hey, let's go on to the next story, man.
So next story, Curtis the Friendly Maintenance Ghost. Actually, this happened to my wife and my younger daughter on our travels just recently, a few weeks ago, when we were coming back from, we did like a 9-state travels, I guess, throughout the United States. And so anyway, we're coming back. We stopped off in an Ohio Pilot gas station to go use a restroom, buy some food and stuff like that, get gas. And my wife comes back running out of the restroom. She's like, "Hey, let me borrow your camera. Hurry, let me see your phone." Runs in there, comes back and says, "Check it out." She showed me a little video that they caught, her and my daughter. And it's just you'll see the video on the website. If you go to our website, you'll check it out. It's just really like a towel dispenser going, but it's going and going, and it's like there's a huge pile of paper on the floor, and it's what it is. It's one of those wall-mounted ones. It's hardwired to the wall, and you wave your hand underneath the thing, and the towel, and it shoots out like a maybe 12-inch long piece of paper towel to wipe your hands with. But on the floor was maybe about 40 feet worth of paper. It's just like totally, just like a long piece, and it's like going and going, and anyway, so she's like, let me go talk to the lady, and because this is crazy, and the lady told her it. She goes, you know what? That's actually a ghost. She said there's a maintenance guy by the name of Curtis. He died in 2015 of a heart attack right there in front of the women's restroom. And now he's always just doing little things, mischievous things. And one of them is that paper towel thing. She said we actually had somebody come and look at it. They went through the wiring and everything. They tried to do whatever you can. You're at a distance, it won't go off or whatever. So it's one of those things where you have to put your hand right underneath it to go on. But for some reason, every once in a while, that they said, well, Curtis just likes to play with us and puts up the paper towel thing on, and it just starts shooting out paper towels like crazy. And And it's kind of funny because as we were there, while that happened, we went in line because they have like a Subway inside of there too. And we're standing in the Subway, and they were hanging some stuff up on the walls and stuff.
Subway restaurant.
Yeah,
I don't know if people would get confused about that. It's a Subway restaurant.
Subway restaurant. I'm sorry. Yeah. But anyhow, yeah. So we're standing there, and all of a sudden, something that had just hung up. It came down. It actually looked like it shot forward and down though. So it didn't just like fall straight down. And we looked up, and the nail's still there, the thing to hang it up, and it could have just fallen down. That's what I don't like about this story too, is because things like they could have just, again, that could have just fallen off. But then he just looked at it, she goes, Curtis, again, like blaming on Curtis, and the paper towel thing when you see it on
Curtis quit.
Yeah. But when you see the paper towel thing too, it just looks like the paper towel dispenser's just going like it's broken. But they said no, it's not. And sure enough, they went in later and it was off. The lady tore off the towels and it was off. And then they went in like later before we left and it was on again. That thing started shooting. I was like, poor people. Like,
that shit is expensive, but come on, Curtis. Cut your shit, man.
Why do they even use it anymore?
That's what I was gonna say. Just put the paper on top of the thing next to the sink, man. But anyway, that's all that was. It just we had a video and I was like, man, I got to share this story because I mean when you're there and it's happening to you, it's freaky. And like now, honestly, Rob, when I sent you the video to show it to you, and I was starting to type the story, like trying to tell you, oh, check this out, man, because it just happened, and man, I was like freaking out. And as I'm typing it and sending you the video, I'm like, man, it's a crappy story, man. Because it just, when you tell somebody, it just like, oh, well, it just looks like a broken, paper towel dispenser. but really, it wasn't.
Check out the. You be the judge. Just check out the video because I thought it was awesome, man.
It was crazy.
But a lot of these things too, like when you're there and experiencing it, it's like super exciting and real and fun. But then you tell it to other people and it's like, come on, that's fake, or they just don't understand.
Well, honestly, you're right because man, I was like all excited. I was like, man, this is awesome. I was like, this is gonna be a great story to tell. But as I'm typing it to Robert, I'm like, God, this is a crappy story.
I'm like, that night, and then he started. I read it. I was like, oh man, I fell asleep. Just kidding.
I know.
This is the insomnia episode right there. Insomniacs.
But it really was a real story.
It was.
It did happen, and you can see the video, and it wasn't. Well, they swear it wasn't broken. They said no. This has been happening for 4 years now.
That's a trip, though, man. And then here's the thing. God bless them because that shit ain't cheap, man. Those
towels.
Now, but like for them to let them just keep, unless they recycle them, just roll them back up. But you can't do that. It wouldn't work properly. The roll would be bigger, which is kind of crazy, though. I was thinking, man. I would just get you know what, man? Just have a couple of towels over there, like back in the Roman days where they had to use the same one, right?
I would have gotten something else by now. I would have taken that thing off. 4 years. I'm like 4 years of that thing doing that, like
man,
all the time.
That's a lot of money, man. Shit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm like screw that.
But you know what? It is kind of freaky. Okay, here's the way I look at it: is if you do look at the video that they're showing and just imagine it being a ghost, it's kind of weird. Because it doesn't stop, it just keeps going on. That's what I did. That's what my mindset was when I was looking at it. But y'all be the judge. It could be something.
I'm just thinking like Curtis get out of the women's restroom.
Yeah,
I know that was the other thing I was thinking too. Right?
Oh, Tascao, yeah. What you need all that for? Eh?
No, that's not. What? But you know what though? That reminds me of I don't know if my sister's told you, or if we said it on the podcast. But she's always hearing noises coming out of my dad's office in our house. The other day though, she came and told me, she's like, yeah, his keyboard was clicking, like somebody was pressing down buttons on the keyboard. And she's like, I heard it clear as day. Like that couldn't have been anything else. But there was no one else in there. The lights were off.
That's weird.
Yeah, there's nothing they could have been doing.
Yeah, and I just told her, you know what, it's all in your head, But when it happens to me, I'm gonna say we got to move out.
Typical horror film father.
Yeah, exactly.
You guys are nuts. Yeah, quit dragging on the ground. What the hell are you doing? Getting scuff marks all over my. It's a demon that's screaming. Stop. Cut that shit out.
Yeah, no, but anyway, I forgot about that. That was crazy. I didn't know what to tell her. I'm like, I don't know what to say. I mean, it's like,
it is kind of though, right? I mean, because you don't want to scare them either. And just,
Yeah.
right, man, that's crazy. The stuff that Ryan would see and stuff. Anybody had me thinking,
Yeah.
like seriously, I'd have the door open when no one's here. You know, just kind of like with the light on, eating chips. And I see people coming and turn off the lights. Yeah, just watching The Exorcist by myself. Yeah, ain't nothing. Yeah, when I was watching My Little Pony or something.
yeah,
Peppa Pig. Yeah.
all tough, man.
It's just, it's like, if he could do it, I could do it. But yeah,
It's crazy because he still watches scary stuff, and I'm like, how are you not? But then he's like, take me to the restroom.
you know what though? Because it's a trip. Because right, like when he's on the phones or whatever, he's watching on his tablet, whatever. It's interesting. It's stuff that I would look at. It's like, and it's not always chills, man. I mean, the guy, he has awesome videos, and some of them they're just. But some, man, sorry, Chills. I like you, brother. So if you, I highly doubt you're listening to this. But like, he had one like, we see that it's moving on its own, but it could be that the house is on a hill and lopsided, so we'll never know. And I'd be like, what the fuck did you make me listen to that story for, man? Like, dude, I was getting into it. Now you tell me it could be a lopsided house? I'll be like, damn. I was like,
You're just wasting my time.
But he'll agree with you though, man. It's like, yeah, but we'll never know. You know, maintenance men have never been in there before. We gotta, please, fellas. Here we go again.
Time for the outro, right?
Yep, we got to ask for these things because we've been getting some really, really good stories lately, and we just asking you guys, please keep them coming, man. They've been awesome. If y'all wanna call in that and give us your if y'all want to call in and give us your what is
story.
it, your story, your recipes, yeah, please, that number is, it's 210-901-8666, and remember folks, that's a 3-minute call. So if y'all go over, make sure that you call back and just give the second part, third part, fourth part of your story, and just let us know, hey, this is part 2 of this story, part 3, whatever. We'll edit that bad boy. Me, David, Nay, we actually they're the ones that make it sound awesome. So I just kind of do the fat lazy part. But but if not, if y'all want to write in, and man, seriously, the written ones always, to me, that when we get them, we get to put our, like when we're reading them, we visualize them how we want to.
You don't know how the house looks.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to get. So, but if we do, if y'all want to write those in, Dave, what's our new website looking?
Yeah.
Whatchamacallit?
Yeah, that's right. Go ahead and write it in too. No, I'm just kidding. Email us at rigormortisparanormal@gmail.com, or you can just visit our brand new website at rigormortisparanormal.com, and just go to the submit a story section, and you can just submit your story there. Either way, whichever way you decide to get it to us, please get it to us. Also, make sure you follow us and like us, and we're on all kinds of different things that, you can listen to us on YouTube.
Man, we've been getting a lot of goodies on YouTube, a lot of likes.
Please share us with your family.
Oh,
and
yes.
Definitely.
We need to reach more people.
We like it because we like getting the stuff like, people writing, emailing us at 4 o'clock in the morning to say that, they were laughing, they couldn't stop laughing. That's how much they enjoyed the show.
That was awesome, man.
Yeah, you know what? Don't just tell us your stories. Tell us your experiences listening to us. If you have any interesting ones like that.
Oh yeah, we definitely put that out there. Also,
we love to hear when people enjoy our stuff, man.
Definitely.
Another thing, Patreon too, man. It does.
Here we go begging.
I know. I hate to do that, but honestly, it does take money. I mean, we got to buy beer. First off. And then we got software, we got editing, we got to pay for the hosting and all that other kind of junk, and so man, if you guys can donate, honestly, even $1 a month would be awesome. Just visit us on Patreon. You'll see the link there if you go to our website, and or even there's a little donate button on our new website. I like that one because you can. If somebody wants to just donate one time, $1 or $2 or something.
Even if you click it by accident, you're still committed.
Yeah, there's no back button.
You gotta reboot everything.
And now you reboot and it automatically starts up.
What we calling that? Henry, did you donate? What is this? Oh, 10 grand. What's this?
Yeah, it refreshes every time you reboot. Add $1 more. Oh, just kidding, really.
No, but yeah, every little bit does help, and it'll actually help us get a little bit more dynamic show for you.
A
So
little fatter, a little drunker also.
Right. As a matter of fact, we got 2 microphones now. Actually,
Yes.
that's one thing that we didn't have before, so that's pretty awesome. But anyhow, so again, thank you very much for listening, guys.
Yeah.
See you later. Peace out.
Peace
See
out,
you
fellas.
next time.
Bye.
The thing is, God, they're loud. Can you? Will it hear it? Can you hear it on there?
a little bit, but that's cool. We always
Okay.
have that anyway.